Week 2 is being played this weekend, and it started with a terrific game on Thursday night between the Giants and the football team, and it will conclude on Monday with the Detroit Lions going to Green Bay on Monday night. And in today's video, we have to discuss the final remaining 8 games that we did not get to on Thursday's video, so we will be discussing games today like the Raiders at the Steelers and Pittsburgh's home opener, the Falcons at the defending champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and of course the Tennessee Titans at the Seattle Seahawks and their home opener as well. And of course there is a pretty big Sunday night game in the Chiefs and the Ravens, so without further ado, let's dive right in. And the first game we will discuss today is the San Francisco 49ers at the Philadelphia Eagles, and there are a lot of ways to look at this game. The 49ers in the first 59 minutes or 58 minutes and some change were absolutely killing the Lions and were up 41-17, only for Detroit to come back and score 16 points in the final 2 minutes or so. Meanwhile, the Philadelphia Eagles absolutely trounced the Falcons and won on the road by 26 points. So, if you would like to spin it the way that the Eagles killed the Falcons, they did not have any troubles or get close to potentially blowing a lead against a team like the Lions, and you think Jalen Hurts and the gang will continue to eat, then you could very much spin it that way, and rightfully so, might I add. However, the 49ers defense is very good, and I do think ever since the NFL and NFL media on ESPN and everything made it out to be a huge deal a couple of years ago, how West Coast teams struggle on the East Coast in 1 o'clock games, I don't think that the winning percentage is as high as it once was, because NFL head coaches have not only realized that, but have done everything in their power to fix that, and ultimately I do think the 49ers defense is a much different beast than the Atlanta Falcons defense, so I will be going with the 49ers in a close one, 23-20. Next is the Raiders and Steelers, and each of these franchises had a very big win in week 1. The Raiders, as we know, on Monday night against the Ravens, and the Steelers going up into Bills Mafia in a very hostile environment and coming out with a huge 23-16 win. I do think this game is like the 49ers-Eagles game where you can spin it either way you want, and with the Steelers in their home opener with the crazy Steeler Nation, and we know how passionate the fans are there, not to say that the Raiders fans aren't passionate, I just don't expect people from Las Vegas and the Oakland area to travel the whole way to Pittsburgh. And having said all of this, it's going to be a very hostile environment for Derek Carr and the Raiders, and the Steelers' defense is absolutely loaded. And we saw them hold Josh Allen to 16 points in week 1, and combining that with the fact that the crowd is going to be more than into it, and that this defense has players like TJ Watt, Cameron Hayward, Devin Bush, Minkah Fitzpatrick, Joe Hayden, Alex Highsmith, and everyone else, it's probably going to be a low-scoring game, and with the defense combined with the home crowd being back, I am going to take the Steelers in a low-scoring game, 16-10. Minnesota travels to Arizona for the first of the 4 o'clock games, and as crazy as this sounds, it would be incredibly Minnesota Vikings to lose to Joe Burrow and the Bengals in week 1, then win against Kyler Murray and the Cardinals, and get the fan base riled up and excited, only to get absolutely slaughtered by Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf, and the gang in week 3. However, I do not think the Vikings are going to go out to the desert and win, and I do think that a 2-0 start for the Arizona Cardinals will happen, and that an 0-2 start for the Minnesota Vikings at this point is inevitable. There is some questions surrounding the linebacker status and the health for the Minnesota Vikings right now, and it is a potential, as I record this, that Eric Kendricks and Anthony Barr are both out on Sunday. Again, to be clear, I am saying they could be out, not that they are. However, they both could still play, but I do want to say as of Friday morning, if they are in question, then I think it's also fair to say they won't be 100% when they take the field, or if they take the field on Sunday. Anyways, I do think the Arizona Cardinals offense will overpower the Minnesota Vikings, and I do think the Cardinals will ultimately win this game. It'll probably be another close one because, let's be honest, the Vikings offense is still pretty good. They have good playmakers. Granted, the Tennessee Titans did too, and they were held to 13 points by the same Cardinals team, but I will be going with the Cardinals with a score of 28-20. Matty Ice, Kyle Pitts, and Calvin Ridley take on the defending Super Bowl champions in Tampa Bay on Sunday at 4 o'clock as well, and I mean, you guys know who I'm going to pick to win this game. I don't think anybody is seriously, unless they are just saying a prayer for a parlay or a bet to really boost the odds, are going to take the Falcons with any sort of seriousness. And really, why would they? The Falcons are not a good team. They just got beat by 25-26 to be exact points by the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, the Bucs are the defending Super Bowl champions and have an extra few days rest. So everything points to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning, and rather comfortably at that, and that is exactly what I'm going to be going with a score of 31-17. Ultimately, I do think the Bucs will be up big in this game and late as well. The Falcons are probably going to get a garbage time touchdown or two, and it would not surprise me if this lead for the Bucs swells to 31-10 or 31-7 at some point in time, but I do think the Bucs will win 31-17. The next game we will discuss can be best described in one word: shootout. The Dallas Cowboys will be playing at the Los Angeles Chargers, and I really hope we get to see a duel between Justin Herbert and Dak Prescott, and who will be the superior quarterback and come out with a win is something I will be paying attention to all late Sunday afternoon, and it is a game I am very much looking forward to. I could see this game going either way, and I realize the Chargers are 1-0, but the Cowboys are 0-1 and lost on a last-second field goal to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, while the Chargers, I don't want to say struggled with the football team, but didn't exactly come away with a dominating win, and I get in the NFL that a win is a win, but they weren't exactly dominant, and Justin Herbert didn't have the biggest of games. However, I do expect that to change, and I would be honestly surprised if both Herbert and Dak do not each throw for at least 300 yards and a pair of scores. I do think this will be one of the best games all week. That's really not a bold prediction, but what may be a bold prediction is I do have the Dallas Cowboys going on the road and winning with a score of 34-31. Now we have another highly anticipated game, and it is the 0-1 Titans at the 1-0 Seahawks. And the biggest question that the Titans will have to answer on Sunday is, are they for real or are they just a fluke? And is the past year and a half or so from Ryan Tannehill just a 25 roughly game stretch outlier compared to the player that he was in Miami for the first 6 years of his career? Ultimately, I do think, again, we could have a shootout here, as the Titans are going to have to put up points to be able to keep up with Russell Wilson, Tyler Lockett, and DK Metcalf, and I do think we will have another shootout. And the NFL, credit to them again, as they are the kings in terms of marketing, for having great 4:30 games. I honestly don't think the Vikings and Cardinals is going to be a bad game, but will it compete with the Cowboys and Chargers and the Titans and Seahawks in terms of ratings? Probably not, but I do think in the Great Northwest we're going to have a good game, and unfortunately for Titans fans, I do think they are going to start out 0-2, but the main thing to remember here is I also think the Colts are going to start out 0-2, and the Jags and Texans are not serious threats, at least, well, the Texans, I mean, who knows after that 1-0 start. And to the subscriber that always says, Tyrod Taylor, 17-0, here's your shout out, buddy, but I am going to be going with the Seahawks here with a score of 31-24. Now, before we discuss Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs in Baltimore, we are going to quickly discuss the Monday night game, and the Green Bay Packers could not have started out worse. They lost by 35 points on the road. They gave up 5 passing touchdowns to Jameis Winston, and Aaron Rodgers threw multiple interceptions to 0 touchdown passes, which is quite the far cry from the 48 touchdowns to 5 interceptions that he had in the 2020 season. So, will they get back on track against the Lions on Monday night? The answer, yes, they will. They're in front of their home crowd, the entire home crowd, not just the fans that they had at the NFC Championship game for the Buccaneers, the entire 70,000 or whatever that Lambeau Field holds, and they are going to get back on track and win over the Lions with a score of 28-17. Now, I realize I did not go too in-depth with that, but I'm going to be honest here. I am a Vikings fan, let's just get that out of the way, but I don't see any way the Packers lose to the Lions on Monday night, and when they were close to a couple of years ago, we saw what happened whenever they were close to losing to the Lions on Monday night by... Anyways, now we are on to the Chiefs and Ravens, and I do think the Chiefs are very much more talented on the offensive side of the ball than Baltimore, and ultimately this is going to be a team that will probably head to its 4th straight championship game, highlighted of course by all-world quarterback Patrick Mahomes. As we know, Lamar Jackson is defeated against the Chiefs, the only team he has yet to get a win against in terms that he's played multiple games against, and unfortunately for Lamar and the Ravens, I don't see that changing. And what really sucks for them is whenever they lose a game like that to the Chiefs, to a Josh Allen-led team where he had 46 total touchdowns in 2020, you always get the narratives and stupid narratives of, oh, Lamar can't do this, Lamar can't do that. But take a look at the offensive line that Lamar has in front of him. Alejandro Villanueva played like absolute crap in week 1, and he gave up the most pressures out of any left tackle or any tackle in the entire league with 10 in a single game. There are players that won't give up, I mean, granted, they're like all pro, like Quentin Nelson type players, but there are players that won't give up 10 pressures in a single season, yet Big Al managed to do it in 1 game. So, not surprisingly, with players like Chris Jones on the defensive line, who, by the way, the Chiefs will switch around and rotate wherever he's not just strictly a defensive tackle, I will be going with the Kansas City Chiefs in this one with a score of 31-21. Now, with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, I ask that you like the video and subscribe to the channel, and if you ever have a video suggestion, please let me know, and until next time, have a great day, have a safe weekend, and love you guys. Deuces. Peace.